Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that could very well be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to be discovered. I'm talking about the United States 2019 $quarter from Lowell, Massachusetts. It's a coin that might not seem like much at first glance, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand just how valuable and fascinating it really is. Let's start with a bit of background on this coin. The 2019 Lowell quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which is a series of quarters released by the U.S. Mint to honor national parks and historical sites across the country. The Lowell quarter specifically honors Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, a place rich in American industrial history. But this quarter isn't just special because of its design, there's much more to it than that. On the front of the coin, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It's the same design seen on all modern U.S. quarters. But it's the reverse of the coin that's caught the attention of collectors. The reverse features a beautiful and intricate depiction of a young girl working in a textile mill, representing Lowell's deep connection to the Industrial Revolution. This detailed design is a great way to preserve the memory of the park's history, but what makes this coin even more exciting is the rarity and potential errors that can dramatically increase its value. Now, let's talk about the rarity of the Lowell quarter. While it was released as part of a series of quarters in 2019, not all of them were minted in equal numbers. Like many coins from the America the Beautiful program, a portion of the Lowell quarters were struck in limited quantities, and some even contain minting errors that make them incredibly rare. Minting errors can happen for a variety of reasons, such as misprints or incorrect positioning of dies. These errors aren't always obvious at first, but if you're lucky enough to come across one, it could turn your quarter into a goldmine. Some of the most valuable Lowell quarters are those with noticeable errors. For instance, there are reports of quarters with double strikes or coins that were misaligned during the minting process. These errors can be subtle or obvious, but regardless of the size or type, they make the coin far more valuable to collectors. Imagine owning a quarter that was meant to be one thing but ended up being completely unique due to a mistake in the minting process. That's what collectors live for. Another reason these coins are so valuable is the condition they're in. Many of the Lowell quarters, especially those that were released in the early stages of the series, show signs of wear and tear after being circulated. However, those that have been carefully preserved in mint condition, unworn, with sharp, clear details, are highly sought after. The higher the grade of the coin, the more it's worth. And when you're talking about a rare, error-filled coin in mint condition, you're looking at a piece of history that could be worth a lot more than its face value. Let's break it down a little further. A typical Lowell quarter in average condition might be worth just a few quarters, nothing too exciting. But once you start factoring in minting errors and pristine condition, that's when the value skyrockets. Coins that have been kept in uncirculated, flawless condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the real jackpot is for the error coins, which are far more desirable to collectors. Now, you're probably wondering, just how much can these coins actually be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these Lowell quarters with a minting error or in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a real treasure. Believe it or not, some of these quarters have been sold for a whopping $47,000. Yes, you heard that right, $47,000 for a single quarter. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know what you might find, and the potential for discovering something valuable is always there. So, next time you're flipping through your collection of coins, take a second look at any Lowell quarters you might have. Make sure to examine them carefully for any signs of minting errors, and if you find something unusual, don't hesitate to get it appraised. You could be holding onto a rare and valuable piece of American history that's just waiting to be discovered. Top 2, we're focusing on a quarter that could be worth far more than its face value. I'm talking about the 2008 Oklahoma quarter. While it may look like just another coin, there's more to it than meets the eye, and you'll definitely want to stick around to the end to learn just how valuable this seemingly ordinary quarter can be. So, what makes the 2008 Oklahoma quarter so interesting? It's part of the 50-state quarters program, which was launched by the U.S. Mint back in 1999 to celebrate each of the 50 states with their own unique quarter design. The Oklahoma quarter, issued in 2008, features a stunning design that symbolizes the state's rich heritage and history. The reverse of the coin showcases a beautifully detailed image of a scissor-tailed flycatcher, Oklahoma's state bird, perched on a native branch with a bountiful field in the background. The design is elegant, capturing the beauty of Oklahoma's landscape and wildlife, but while the design is beautiful, it's not the only reason this coin is drawing the attention of collectors. The 2008 Oklahoma quarter, like many coins in the 50-state quarter series, has some unique characteristics that make it a sought-after piece for those who know what to look for. Let's take a closer look at why this quarter can be worth much more than just 25 cents. The first thing to consider when determining the value of any coin is its rarity. The Oklahoma quarter wasn't produced in extremely low numbers, but there are some important factors that can make certain versions of this coin particularly rare. One of the key things collectors are on the lookout for is the condition of the coin. A well-preserved Oklahoma quarter, one that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, can fetch a significantly higher price than one that has been circulated for years. The sharper the details and the fewer the scratches, the more valuable the coin is, but it doesn't stop there. There's something that makes this coin even more exciting to collectors: minting errors. Minting errors are one of the most thrilling things for coin enthusiasts, and if you happen to stumble upon an Oklahoma quarter with a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Minting errors occur during the production process and can result in things like misaligned dies, double strikes, or even incomplete designs. These errors can make the coin one of a kind, and as you can imagine, a coin with a minting error can be extremely valuable to collectors who are searching for unique pieces to add to their collections. For example, some 2008 Oklahoma quarters have been found with a double die error, where the design on the coin is struck more than once, creating a blurry or thicker image. This kind of error is often subtle, but for seasoned collectors, it's a rare find that can significantly increase the coin's worth. Other types of errors, like missing or incorrect details, can also make a coin incredibly valuable. If you've got an Oklahoma quarter with a minting error, you might want to get it appraised by a professional, as it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, let's talk about how much this coin could actually be worth. You might think that a 2008 quarter is just worth a quarter, but with the right condition and the possibility of a minting error, this coin could be worth a lot more. If you have a pristine, uncirculated Oklahoma quarter, or one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a price tag that will leave you speechless. Some of these rare Oklahoma quarters have sold for as much as $49,000, yes, you heard that right, $49,000 for a single 2008 Oklahoma quarter. That's not a typo. This coin, which might have once seemed like just another quarter, could be worth a fortune if you find the right one. Whether it's a well-preserved coin with sharp details or a rare minting error, the value of these coins is skyrocketing, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. So, next time you're digging through your coin collection, make sure to give your 2008 Oklahoma quarters a closer look. Check for any minting errors, look at the condition, and consider getting it appraised if you think it might be something special. You never know, you might be holding onto a coin worth far more than its face value. Top 3, we're talking about a coin that might seem like just another ordinary quarter at first glance, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your 2003 Illinois quarter with a whole new perspective. This coin is far more valuable than you might think, and we're going to dive into why it could be worth a small fortune. The 2003 Illinois quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, a series of coins that honors each of the 50 states with unique designs. Illinois, known for its rich history, iconic landmarks, and of course, its strong ties to American politics and industry, was represented by the Illinois quarter. The reverse design of this coin features a beautiful depiction of a young Abraham Lincoln, who spent his early years in the state, and an image of the state's famous arch, the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. This coin is full of historical significance, making it a popular pick for collectors, but here's the catch: while this quarter might seem like just a typical addition to the 50-state quarters collection, it has something more going for it. You see, there are certain variations, minting errors, and unique conditions that can make this coin incredibly valuable to collectors. So, let's break down what makes the 2003 Illinois quarter so special and why it could be worth much more than the usual quarter you might come across. First and foremost, the rarity of the coin plays a huge role. While millions of these coins were minted, not all of them were created equal. Most Illinois quarters have been circulated, meaning they've seen years of use and wear. But if you happen to find an Illinois quarter that's been carefully preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a valuable coin. Coins that show little to no signs of wear, coins with sharp, clear details and no discoloration, are highly coveted by collectors. These coins are not easy to come by, which is why their value can be much higher than you would expect, but it doesn't end there. What really makes this coin stand out in the world of coin collecting are the minting errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and the 2003 Illinois quarter is no exception. There have been reports of this coin being struck with some very unique and rare errors. Imagine a quarter that was misprinted or struck incorrectly, resulting in a design flaw or a doubled image. These minting errors are incredibly rare, and the coin's value can skyrocket if it has a noticeable mistake. Some common errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, or even coins with missing elements in the design. These errors are so fascinating to collectors because they make the coin unique, one of a kind. A perfectly mint 2003 Illinois quarter can fetch a nice price, but if that coin has a minting error? Well, now you're talking about something entirely different. The rarer the error, the higher the value. There are even certain types of errors on this coin that have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, which is exactly what makes finding one of these error-filled coins such an exciting hunt. Additionally, some collectors are drawn to coins that are in the highest possible condition, known as mint state or MS grades. The 2003 Illinois quarter in mint state condition, free from any marks or wear, is highly sought after. The higher the grade, the more money the coin is likely to be worth. But it's important to remember that condition is only part of the equation. Finding a coin with a rare minting error in flawless condition is the golden ticket for many collectors. Now, let's talk about the real value of this coin. A typical 2003 Illinois quarter that's in good, circulated condition might only be worth face value or slightly more, but when you start talking about an uncirculated coin or a coin with a minting error, that's when things get interesting. So, how much could this quarter really be worth? Hold on tight, because if you've got a 2003 Illinois quarter that's in pristine condition or, even better, one that's got a rare minting error, it could be worth a whopping $54,000. Yes, you heard that right, $54,000 for a single 2003 Illinois quarter. If you're lucky enough to own one of these rare, error-filled, or mint-condition coins, you could be holding onto a true treasure. Coin collecting isn't just about collecting for fun, it can be a serious investment, and this coin proves just how valuable some of these seemingly ordinary quarters can be. So, next time you're flipping through your collection or hunting through your pocket change, take a moment to check those Illinois quarters. You might have one that's worth far more than you ever imagined. If you find an error or one in mint condition, make sure to get it appraised. You could be sitting on a small fortune. Top 4. We have an exciting treasure to talk about that might be sitting right in your collection or hidden in your spare change. It's a coin that may seem like just another quarter, but it has a value that will surprise you. I'm talking about the 2004 Florida quarter. While it may seem like a common coin, there's much more to it than meets the eye, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why it could be worth far more than you think. The 2004 Florida quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which was introduced in 1999. This program was designed to honor each state with a unique quarter, and Florida's quarter was released in 2004. The design on the reverse side of the coin features an image of the famous Spanish galleon, the El Galleon, which represents Florida's rich history of exploration and its significance in the age of European exploration. The design also includes a beautiful rendition of a sailboat and the state's outline. It's a stunning tribute to Florida's deep historical ties to the New World, and the quarter is a cherished piece for many collectors. But here's where things get interesting. while millions of these quarters were minted, not all of them are the same. The value of any coin depends on a variety of factors, and the 2004 Florida quarter is no exception. If you have one of these quarters, you might want to take a second look because there's more to this coin than just its design. The rarity, condition, and any potential minting errors can make this quarter incredibly valuable. Let's talk about rarity first. Like many coins from the 50-state quarters program, the 2004 Florida quarter was minted in large numbers, but that doesn't mean every one of them is easily accessible today in perfect condition. Over time, many of these quarters have been circulated extensively and show wear, scratches, or discoloration. But here's the catch: if you happen to have a Florida quarter that has been kept in mint or near mint condition, it can fetch a premium price. A coin in perfect condition, with all of its details crisp and clear, is something collectors are eager to get their hands on. Now, let's dive into one of the most thrilling parts of coin collecting: minting errors. If you're a collector, you know that minting errors are a huge deal, and they can make a coin go from being worth a few bucks to a valuable collectible worth thousands. For the 2004 Florida quarter, there are a few known errors that have been discovered over the years. These errors include misaligned dies, doubled strikes, and off-center strikes. Minting errors are what make a coin truly unique, and a Florida quarter with one of these errors could be a collector's dream. For example, if your 2004 Florida quarter has a doubled die, a mistake that causes the design to appear blurry or thick in certain spots, that could be an error that dramatically increases its value. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the coin is struck at the wrong angle, can make the quarter look strange or imperfect, but in the world of coin collectors, that imperfection is what makes it desirable. Minting errors are rare, and when they do appear, they make the coin a one-of-a-kind find. If you discover an error on a Florida quarter, it could be worth a small fortune. Additionally, the coin's grade and condition play a significant role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved and remain in uncirculated condition tend to be worth far more than those that have been circulated. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price. So, when you're looking at your Florida quarters, be sure to inspect them carefully. A well-maintained coin, free from scratches, tarnish, or discoloration, could mean a significant payout for you. So, now that you know a bit about the rarity and potential errors, you're probably wondering, just how much can this quarter be worth? Well, here's the exciting part. A typical 2004 Florida quarter in average condition might only fetch a couple of dollars, but if you happen to have one in mint condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Some of these quarters, especially those with errors, have been known to sell for as much as $51,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $51,000 for a single 2004 Florida quarter. That's how much a rare, mint-condition quarter or a coin with a valuable error could be worth. Whether it's a double die or a misaligned strike, finding a Florida quarter with a unique characteristic could make you the proud owner of a coin worth far more than its face value. So, the next time you come across a 2004 Florida quarter, take a moment to examine it carefully. Check for any signs of wear, minting errors, or anything that sets it apart from a typical, circulated coin. If you happen to find one with a rare error or in pristine condition, don't hesitate to have it appraised. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Top 5, we've got a truly exciting find to talk about. You may have a hidden treasure in your pocket change without even realizing it. I'm talking about the 2004 Wisconsin quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin, but trust me, there's a lot more to this quarter than meets the eye. If you've got one of these, especially with some key features, you could be sitting on something worth far more than its face value. The 2004 Wisconsin quarter is one of the most fascinating coins from the entire state quarter series, and for good reason. This quarter features the outline of the state of Wisconsin, with an image of a cow, a barn, and some lush farmland in the background, representing the state's rich agricultural history. What makes this quarter so special, though, is not just its design but its unique connection to the state's dairy industry. Wisconsin is known as America's Dairyland, so it's only fitting that a cow is featured on this quarter to celebrate that. Now, let's talk about what really sets the 2004 Wisconsin quarter apart from the rest of the quarters in this series: its rarity. While millions of these quarters were minted, certain versions are much rarer than others. You see, some of the 2004 Wisconsin quarters were struck with a special feature that sets them apart and increases their value. This feature is a tiny detail on the reverse side of the coin, the cow's ear variety. In the original design, there was supposed to be a small cutout near the cow's ear to represent a small piece of cheese. However, some quarters were struck without this feature, creating a mistake that makes the coin unique and incredibly valuable to collectors. This is known as the extra leaf error, and it's one of the most sought-after errors in modern U.S. coinage. The extra leaf error comes in two main varieties. One is the high leaf variety, where a second leaf appears next to the corn stalk on the coin. The other is the low leaf variety, where the leaf is positioned slightly lower on the stalk, giving it a different look. Both of these errors are extremely rare, and when they do pop up, they can cause quite a stir in the world of coin collecting. So why do errors like this increase the value of the coin so much? Well, collectors go crazy for them because they represent something unique. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and they can take a relatively common coin and turn it into something worth thousands of dollars. A coin with an error is considered a one-of-a-kind piece, making it highly desirable to those who are looking to complete their collections with rare finds. But it's not just about errors, condition matters too. Just like with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. A 2004 Wisconsin quarter that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is much more valuable than one that has been heavily worn or scratched. A coin with sharp, clean details and no signs of damage is always in demand by collectors who want the best examples of a particular year or design. If you come across a 2004 Wisconsin quarter in excellent condition, or better yet, one with the extra leaf error, then you could be sitting on something truly valuable. These rare varieties and uncirculated coins are hard to come by, which is what makes them so sought after in the marketplace. Many of these error coins, depending on their condition, have been known to sell for astronomical prices. So, what could this rare quarter actually be worth? Well, the value can vary depending on the condition and the rarity of the coin. But if you have one of these Wisconsin quarters with an error and it's in great shape, you could be looking at a substantial payout. Some of these rare quarters with the extra leaf error have been known to sell for as much as $55,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $55,000 for a single 2004 Wisconsin quarter. That's the potential value of this rare coin, especially if it's in pristine condition or features one of those highly sought-after minting errors. It's hard to believe that a simple quarter could be worth so much, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes, the most unexpected finds can be the most valuable. So, before you toss any 2004 Wisconsin quarters into your spare change jar, take a closer look. Inspect it for the extra leaf error, check the condition, and see if you've got one of these hidden treasures on your hands. You never know, that small quarter might be worth a fortune. Top 6 and last coin, we're about to dive into something really exciting that could be hiding in your collection or even your pocket change right now. Have you ever heard of the 2002 Mississippi quarter? At first glance, it might look like any other coin from the 50-state quarter series, but trust me, there's more to this little quarter than meets the eye. If you're a collector, or just someone who loves discovering rare finds, you'll want to stick around because this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. The 2002 Mississippi quarter was released as part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, which was a nationwide initiative to celebrate the history, culture, and landmarks of each state. For Mississippi, the design features a beautiful tribute to the state's rich heritage. The reverse side of the coin shows an image of the Mississippi state outline with a magnolia flower in the center. This flower is the state's official emblem, symbolizing the beauty and resilience of Mississippi's natural environment. Alongside the magnolia is the phrase, "the Magnolia State," a nod to the state's pride in its floral symbol. But here's where things get interesting. While most of these coins were produced and circulated without much fanfare, some have become highly sought-after treasures due to a rare and unexpected feature, minting errors. These types of errors are what make certain coins incredibly valuable, and the 2002 Mississippi quarter has a few of them that can make it worth a small fortune. Now, what are these errors, and why do they matter? The first and most exciting error on the 2002 Mississippi quarter is the infamous double die variety. A double die occurs when a coin is struck by a die that has an error, causing certain parts of the design to appear as if they've been struck twice. On the Mississippi quarter, this error often appears in the lettering, making certain words or numbers look thicker or slightly off-center. The double die effect can be subtle, but if you know what you're looking for, it can make a huge difference in a coin's value. Next, let's talk about another rare error: off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the minting die, which results in a coin where the design is shifted or off-center. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin appear unique and one-of-a-kind. An off-center strike on a 2002 Mississippi quarter can be particularly valuable if it's extreme enough to make the state's design look misaligned or unbalanced. What's even more fascinating is that some of these coins also have partial missing designs. For example, if the magnolia flower or part of the state outline is barely visible or completely absent, you're looking at a minting mistake that can turn this quarter into an extremely rare and desirable find for collectors. These types of coins are especially prized by enthusiasts because they are anomalies, coins that weren't supposed to happen, but did. The condition of the coin is another major factor that influences its value. A coin that has been well preserved with sharp details, clear engravings, and no visible damage is always in demand. The 2002 Mississippi quarter, like any collectible coin, is far more valuable if it's in uncirculated or near mint condition. Coins that show no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration are particularly valuable to collectors who are looking for the best possible example of a coin from that year. But the most important takeaway for coin collectors is this: when you combine rarity, errors, and condition, the value of a coin can skyrocket. And that brings us to the exciting part: just how much is a 2002 Mississippi quarter with an error worth? If you have one of these rare error coins, or if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a significant payoff. Coins like this have been known to sell for an eye-popping $58,000, yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single 2002 Mississippi quarter. That's how much a rare, error-filled quarter can be worth. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or a coin that's missing part of its design, finding one of these rare varieties can make you a small fortune. So, before you toss any 2002 Mississippi quarters into your spare change jar, take a moment to inspect them. Look for any signs of minting errors, check the condition, and see if you've got one of these rare treasures on your hands. If you find something special, don't hesitate to have it appraised. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot valuable collectibles, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next exciting discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!